Hey, sis. I'm going to be serious for a minute.
Be serious.
Okay. So, we laugh, we joke, we talk about all this stuff with our kids. Do you think about insurance for them? Do you have insurance for them or for yourself?
Are we talking about life insurance or health insurance?
I'm talking about life insurance.
In
case something happens to one of us.
And I don't like them like that.
In the last episode, I remember you saying, your kids was just out for your life insurance. And you said you was going to give them to me. So if you was going to give them to me, how are they going to be protected?
No, on some real serious stuff, I do have life insurance for them. I have life insurance through To Insure Life. And
okay.
Because, we laugh a lot. We eye roll. We talk about it's the audacity for me. But the real thing is, we have more days behind us than we have ahead of us. So is life worth protecting, right? And we should leave something for our children. So I use To Insure Life. And if you need some life insurance, this episode is sponsored by To Insure Life. It offers real coverage for real families. And if you need it, you can email To Insure Life, which is the number 2 in Sure Life first, 1st.sfg@gmail.com and take adults into the next level, because at the end of the day, we really do need life insurance. And maybe we don't think about it, as we are doing life, but at the end of the day, we want to leave our children with something, because the Bible says to leave our children's children with something.
Yes,
and life insurance is important.
Okay. And so that email address, again, just in case you didn't get it, is the number 2 NSURELIFE, the number 1 ST.SFG@gmail.com. So can't wait for you guys to take adulting to the next level.
That's right. Get some life insurance. If you don't get nothing else, at least you get some life insurance.
Welcome back to another episode of These Can't Be My Kids, the podcast where parenting adult children feels like
hell.
Not a Hallmark movie for sure. I'm Leila.
And I'm Karen.
And today's episode is going to be real personal, y'all. It's like the HR file with your last name on it. Personal.
Oh, with your name on it.
Yes.
They still do that? Yeah, back in the day, you pull up the drawer and you...
Well, it's not in a drawer now, but it's definitely still by last name.
Oh, yeah. That's interesting.
Last name, sometimes file number.
Y'all, Leila is getting ready to give y'all a personal story. How many episodes have y'all been waiting?
Oh my goodness, we've done this before, y'all. We've done this before.
She gonna give y'all a personal, because it's probably...
What?
It was my heart. Was it something else? Was it your brain?
No,
your heart? Oh, okay.
No. It's not a health issue. I guess it's a heart issue. It's a heart issue too.
Look, she wants to be like me, y'all.
Not in the same way. Not where I need y'all to pray, but just a heart issue.
I don't know. They may need to pray too.
Y'all could pray not for me, but for my kids when this is all said and done.
We need all of these kids prayed for.
But yes, for sure. So, I mean, it ain't as serious as a Netflix movie or anything. At least not yet. But it is my real life. So, oh my goodness. Anyway, many of y'all do know this about me, is that I've spent decades in HR. I have been in HR for over 20 years.
That's not 1 decade, y'all. That's 2.
I said decades.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear the S.
I put the S on it.
Okay.
Worked my way up the ladder, dotted every I, crossed every T, created policies for the companies that I've worked for. It created culture. And, I was the one that other people came to when their kids needed internships or jobs or resume reviews or, that thing again. All that kind of stuff.
You want a resume reviews.
I know. But I was that one, right? So instead of the HR whisper, y'all, I am the HR guru. So get it straight. Get it straight. Okay.
HR guru.
That's right.
We ain't going to get audacity stories. Now we're going to get resume reviews.
I will do it for each and every person. If you need some tips, don't hesitate to reach out. I got you. So.
For a small fee. All right. So you the HR guru and not the whisperer.
Not the whisperer.
But we've been talking. Yeah, So you did all this for everybody else's kids, but your kids got fired.
Exactly. My kids got fired. 2 of them. They had different departments, but they both got fired. Right? You know, HR word is terminated or separated from employment. But you know what I said? Fired. They got fired.
Did you have to fire them or somebody else did?
No, it's a separation of responsibility because they are my kids. So even being head of HR, I always had to delegate somebody else to kind of be the ones who dealt with their shenanigans. So to be perfectly honest, like I didn't even know that they were getting fired before the firing occurred.
Wait, the HR guru did not know that her kids was getting fired.
No, now I knew they were doing things that, you know, probably could get them fired, but I didn't know they were getting fired before they got fired. It was kind of like once they got fired, then their bosses did come and have that conversation with me separately just because of, you know, mutual peer respect. They came and said, hey, just want you to know that I had to let such and such go. So it was Destiny and Devon. Let me just put that out there. It was the 2 youngest.
So I have a question.
Yes.
How does Destiny and Devon, who their mother is the HR guru, what the ham sandwich do you get fired for? What did you get fired for?
What would you think? Like, you would think like they stole something, maybe?
So Devon...
Would it be like a scandal?
So with Devon, I would think that Devon either got fired for not showing up or being late. Because that boy, if it ain't... I would
Say it again.
He would get fired for either not showing up or being late.
Check.
Destiny probably would get fired for not following the policy and the rules.
Nope.
That wasn't it?
No. Destiny didn't want to go to work either.
Oh, for real?
Correct. So she would be like sick a lot.
For real?
Sick a lot. Her dog would be sick a lot.
Oh.
And just absence. It was really just attendance. Like, and that's the crazy thing because it's like for them, and maybe it's generational, right? Because it's the 2 younger kids. So I will say maybe it's something generational. Like they just don't understand how it's a ripple effect. Like things like this impact not just you. And that's what they would do stuff like, well, it was only 15 minutes. Like, can't they get over it? Like they would say that like about their boss, like, oh, well, it was only 15 minutes or it was 2 minutes. Like, what's the big deal?
So first of all, I just think this is very ironic because not only are you the HR guru, but you wrote the policy on attendance.
I did. And there was attendance. So the attendance policy came with what we call attendance points, right? So a lot of companies have like a point system or some kind of attendance system where when you're late or you're absent, then you get what's called an attendance point. And a lot of them have limits on how many of those you can get before you get fired, right? So my company, a lot of them, generally you see like 3, you see like 5, something like that. My company had 13.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I know. But that means
yeah, I know.
you had to be absent 13 times to get fired.
Oh.
You could literally miss 1 day a month plus a bonus before you got fired. And then you still had your actual time off that you were accruing.
So wait.
Yeah, this was unscheduled absences that you could get 13 hours.
So you got 13 hours. So for you could be absent 1 day a month plus a bonus.
Right.
But how does the late?
So a late is half a point.
So not only did
so you could be late. You could be late 26. Exactly.
Oh.
Yes, and my kids, they figured out how to, make the record. So
here's a question.
Yes.
How long did they work there before they got fired?
Actually, they actually had good. They both worked there for I'm gonna say decent amount of time. Devon actually worked there for more than a year before he got fired.
Okay.
Destiny, I think also. So I think they were both there about a year and a half before they actually lost their job at different times, different days, and all that other stuff because they were in different departments. But it's like so on one hand decent, but also on the other hand, it's like how do you not respect the workplace where your mother is the head of HR, right?
Yeah.
Like they really didn't get, and I don't know if they get it today, right? That it is a ripple, it's a domino effect. So if I don't show up when I'm supposed to, somebody else has to do the work that I'm not there
Yeah.
to do. Somebody else has to stay late and they have a family and they are now not able to go home and pick up their kid on time, and that causes them to get a late daycare fee and all
Yeah.
these other things that make that whole cycle break, right? And when it's habitual, like when they doing it over and over and over again, it's not inconvenient for the person who's behind you. It's disrespectful. Like you just have no respect for the other people who you work with. And so they don't see it that way. They just was like, what's the big deal? Like I showed up.
So, at what point did you say these can't be
Girl,
my kids? Was it
girl.
like when they got close to the 13 or the 26?
It was. I don't even know. Like honestly, it was one of those things where I was like, in the very beginning, like I was stressing, right? Like it was stressing me. So there was a period where I was responsible for their ride to work. So I'm like, you're gonna be on time if I'm taking you, right?
Hold on 1 second, because you just said a key word. You were responsible. Were you really responsible, or did you make yourself responsible?
No, they didn't have a way to get to work.
Okay.
So I was their ride.
Okay.
So to me, I was responsible for getting them there because they asked me to give them a ride. They wouldn't get up in the morning. They wouldn't be dressed and ready, like all these things. Now, my schedule was a little more flexible. I ain't have to be to work at the same time they had to be to work. I don't have to clock in like they have to clock in.
Right.
I'm a salaried employee. So I have some flexibility. Of course, my boss still wants me to be there when I'm supposed to be there too. And if I have a meeting and now you making me late for my meeting because you couldn't be up on time for your schedule, like it was just always like, it's just a mess, right? So it got to a place where I was just too stressed. I was too stressed. So my husband was like, absolutely not. We're not doing this no more. They need their own car, and help them get their own car so that they can make their own way to work. Because then at that point, it alleviates the stress off of me.
But then they still got fired.
Because they still didn't go to work when they were supposed to. It was just now on them to do it. So at that point, when it became their responsibility and no longer my responsibility, I think that's when I kind of was like, all right, I can't control it, right? I can only control what I do. Mm-hmm. And then I honestly had to like just stand on my own reputation. Like the people that knew me. And I knew that they were not looking at these kids as a reflection of me and my work, because that's what you always think about, right? It's like I'm sitting there going, so now people are thinking, oh, Leila's kids is just terrible. And it's like, but you know, hopefully they understand that my kids are their own individuals, and even though I raised them and I know for a fact that I taught them, but at least I did think I taught them, right? I was like asking myself. I think
you led by example.
Led by example, always had a job, always showed up. Like it's not something that, even when I stayed home with them when they were infants and toddlers, right? I had a work from home job, and I would get up and do this was before work from home was popular, y'all. It was a true work from home job pre-COVID. And I would get up and go in my home office, you know, with my slippers on and everything. But I had a sign on the door, mommy's working, don't interrupt. Mm-hmm. And so my older kids used to say my script all the time, like, because I used to be like, thank you for calling American Express. This is Leila. How can I help you today? And so they would like come and joke me on that little script or whatever it was that I used to say. But like, even then, like I was rolling out of bed, but I was still on the phones when I was supposed to be on the phones. I was still clocked in when I was supposed to be clocked in. So there was never a time where I showed them that it was acceptable to not show up when you're supposed to show up. Like it's one of the things that is like the most important thing you can do in a job, because you could be bad at a job, but if you show up every day, somebody's going to be willing to teach you. And so for me, I was like, did I not teach them? Like maybe I never gave them that message. Maybe I just did it and assumed that they got it.
That's a good one. I think that's good right there, because I think that a lot of times we do stuff and we just assume because I'm doing it and you see this habit that I am doing. It's just like if every day you come home and you cook dinner, right? The kids get accustomed to the fact that you come home every night and cook dinner. So you would assume that if my kids see me every day going to work, showing
Every
up
day.
on time, they would understand that this is what you're supposed to do.
Correct.
Wow.
Like, and that's the part I think that stung for me. Like, I was like, and it was a decent job, right, for them. It was a decent job. It was good pay for each of them to have their first job, right? It was their first job. And I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, they're not out here making $7 whatever minimum wage is. They're not making $10. They're not at a fast food place. Like, they are at a job where they could essentially take this role and actually move up in the organization or move around in the organization. Had they remained in those positions, like, it would have maybe got them to a different place where they could do some other things. And, they didn't. They took it's like they squandered it away. It was just very much like, yeah, it's not important. So
now that they have been fired, are they working now?
No.
Are they looking for a job now?
They say they are. You don't remember the episode where I told you that my son is the job market is hard? He said the job market is hard. But every job lead I give him, he forgets. So I don't know.
So my question was going to be, do you think that they learned anything from being fired? And
I think they did.
It affect them at all? Like, that thought in their head, like, I got fired from a job that my mother is the head honcho in HR. Do you think that ever comes across for them?
I think that they recognize it. I think that they probably don't want to work anywhere that I work again. Like, and Devon has gotten another job since then. He lost his most recent job, not for attendance, not for failing. He got a job again, and he did better the second time around. Like, he showed up when he was supposed to. Like, he was more diligent with what he was supposed to do as far as work related. But I do think they recognize that today, like, oh yeah, I probably shouldn't have did that, and I don't know, it's, for me, it was like, I know people at work were like, oh, her son got fired, her daughter got fired, or actually her daughter was the one who ghosted her boss and just didn't show back up, which got her fired. It's like, hey, these are the things that Leila's kids did. But again, I recognize that my reputation is my reputation for me, and people know what I bring to the table. And so, and I would look, I claim them. Yes, I birthed them, but I'm quick to tell somebody that they are their own individuals. Like, I cannot control the way they walk. The step is that you could take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And that's basically what this situation was. Like, I led them to water. I gave them an opportunity. I gave them all of that. And so they squandered it, then it's on them, Like, it's not for me to take ownership of that. Was it heartbreaking? Yes. Especially for something like this, right? Because being in HR, my career is HR.
Yeah.
And so it is something that I pride myself on. And like I said, people ask me, oh, what can I do? How can my kid get a job? Can you look out for them? Blah, blah, blah. And then my own kids who I have, every last single one of my kids, all 4 of my kids, have gotten positions at a place that I work. So at some point in time. So not the same job, but at various jobs. Like, all of their first jobs have been at a location where I work, because people recognize that I am a good employee, and they're like, well, I mean, the apple can't fall far from the tree, right? Right?
Maybe it does.
But maybe it does. Like, no joke. Like, it's like, I'm like, now I will say, like, 3 of my kids worked at the same companies. One of them still has her job there. So it's like, people do see, oh, this one still has her job. So obviously there's something there, but it's the older one. It's the older one, right? And that's where I come in and I say, is this generational? Like, is it because I'm a bad parent, or is it because it's generational? And so I have to kind of, like, in healing myself and understanding that I can't control them, I have to look at it from a different perspective.
So when you say generational, you just, maybe it is generational, because these kids. Oh.
I mean, and I'm not saying it's the whole generation, right? Because I know some people out here that are on it, right? Like Michaela. My niece works 7 days a week. I'll be like, you need to take a break.
Girl,
like, girl, take a minute. Take some time for yourself.
Yeah.
But she is like, she's like, I'm going to go to work every day. But she has a different mindset and a different goal for why she wants to work, right? My kids are like, yeah.
You know what? I think your kids are my kids and my kid is your kid.
And we've been saying that since the first one was born. Because I tell you, Christina could be my baby. I ain't mad at her. You be talking about something she misjudgmental. I'll be like, okay, she got some opinions. That's all. I like it.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, and Jasmine is
you, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Jasmine is so caring.
So that may be key. That definitely be. But so what have I know you just said like you have learned that your kids are your kids and that is separate from the reputation of you. Will you ever offer them another opportunity?
I don't think that. And here's the thing, I want to be clear, right? Even with offering them the job, I didn't offer them the job. My kids at every job has still had to go through the process that everybody else goes through. They didn't get the job just because they were my kids. Like, I didn't bring them in and put them in a position. They had to apply. They had to interview. They had to still do some part of that process. And then that department is the one who said, oh, let me hire them. Do I think they hired them because of me? Because they knew their mother and they knew the value that their mother brings to an organization and what she does. And they were like, oh, yeah, they're going to be just like her. Yes, I do think that. So I wouldn't ever say that, like, I would never share with my kids a position or an opening that I think might be beneficial for them. Today, I don't push them. I just be like, oh, here's a job you might be interested in. And if they take it, great. And if they don't, great. You know what I'm saying? It's like we always say, what do they say? Raise them right, but they can still go left.
Yeah.
You know, so just because I raised them that way don't mean that they chose to go that way.
And I think that's the real work, right? Because it's not just about raising them. It's about releasing them with love, with boundaries.
Girl.
A little wine on the side.
And a little wine on the side. Say it again. So
it's definitely about releasing them. And I think that's the hard part for us sometimes, right? Because we want so much for them. And I guess it comes to a point where you can't want more than they want for themselves. And once you recognize that, that's the point where you got to be like, okay, I got to release you. And that's the hard part for us, especially for us, because our timing was so different. And
yeah, I mean, like, I saw my mother go to work every day. It made me realize that I have to go to work every day. Like, there was no question about it, right? Like, I didn't think whether or not I showed up 2 minutes late or 5 minutes late or 15 minutes late, that was acceptable. Like, to me, late was late. Like, late is late. I don't care if it's 30 seconds. If it's, say, 12:01 and I'm supposed to be there at 12:00, then I'm late.
You're late.
It's not, and I get that 1 minute may not impact anybody to this vastly great deal, but it's still an impact. It still shows that you're not respectful of not just yourself, but the people who you work with, the company that you work for, the values and the culture that comes from all that. Like, you are just like saying, forget it. Like, I just don't care. Scratch that. Scrap that.
And in this case, they saying that about, it comes off like you're
like
saying,
they're saying that about
me.
me. Correct. Their mother. Right. The head of HR. And I say generational because, like, I've seen other people tell me, you know, their kid would quit via group chat text message to the whole department team, like, thanks but no thanks. There was this one clip a couple years back where the girl did her video quit on Zoom, like in a Zoom meeting.
I just seen a TikTok where a girl quit. She was working at Walmart and she got on the
oh my goodness,
the speaker,
girl,
and just quit.
So it's like, that's where some of it I say is generational, but I think it's like, and I get it, right? Some jobs, sometimes you got to quit that way. Sometimes you do. My kids, they ain't had no reason to quit that way. They didn't quit. They ain't had no reason to get fired. They ain't have any reason to not really show up and do what they were asked to do in the positions that they had. Because they weren't even, honestly, like, neither one of them had hard jobs. They wasn't out here digging ditches or doing anything crazy. You know, it wasn't anything that I wouldn't expect of them just in a normal day that they could do. And so they chose to kind of take it and do it differently. So But all I could say is, again, I told them to go right. They decided to go left. So now it's on them to go the other way and
there's
decide.
nothing, actually, at the end of the day, that there's nothing you could do about it because they are adults.
They are.
And only thing we could do is pray for them. And number two, just shake our
Karen
head.
just trying to call for a prayer request because I told y'all to pray for her heart. Keep praying for her heart, y'all. Keep praying for her heart. Pray for these kids.
Yeah, because it make us. That's why you can shake your head and go, "These can't be my
pray
kids."
for these kids. Yes.
Right.
So if you ever had to question yourself, your sanity, or just your HR policies,
The attendance policy specifically.
then this episode is for you. I will help people write their attendance policy still because, just because my kids decided they didn't know how to follow one doesn't mean that it wasn't a good policy. So just so y'all know. But, I know that I'm not alone in this. I know that there's so many other people who probably have looked out for their kids and their kids did something that they know for a fact they didn't teach them to do. But I was definitely questioning myself. I was like, I would go to my husband and be like, I don't know. Where did this come from? Because my husband too, right? When he had his jobs, his 9 to 5, even when he had his own business, he has always shown a work ethic. And so it was kind of like, where they get this from? Where's this coming from? And why are they not standing on this?
These can't be my kids.
They just can't be my kids.
But at the end of the day, you got to realize that you're just a parent.
Yeah.
And sometimes that is the hardest job of them all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Just being a parent.
Just being a parent, whether they toddlers, babies, infants, adults. Yeah, that is it's the hardest job at all. So you did the best you could, and sometimes they take it, sometimes they don't. But they're gonna be all right.
When your 2 adult children get fired from the job that you the HR person on. Yep. Okay.
You tried.
When you say it like that, I don't know if it sounds that normal, y'all. It's but it is what it is.
You
so
tried.
I did try. I did try. I tried to look out for them. I tried to look out for me. I tried to set them up. And that's what we do, right? We want to set them up to have something better than us. But, it is what it is. So overall, we would like to say thank y'all for listening to These Can't Be My Kids. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, follow, comment. You can find us on Instagram,
TikTok,
YouTube.
Apple. We're on Apple.
YouTube.
Well, duh.
And Spotify.
Yeah. Oh, that's what you was doing. She was stalling. Y'all trying to remember?
She don't know where we at, y'all. But as I always like to
we
say, we are
everywhere.
everywhere that you want to be. So make sure you find
We're
us.
everywhere you need to be, you want to be, and you should be.
Yes.
Ooh, I like that.
You like that? Look at her. She got a new tagline, y'all. Let's see if she remember it next week.
See y'all next week for another episode of These Can't Be My Kids. Good night, y'all.
Good night.